Alright, so it's Boba Fett time once again with the Book of Boba Fett episode 5. Last week was a really enjoyable episode all around between the flashback sequences that I really liked a lot between Boba Fett and Fennec, and the ever-growing tension and the ramping up of the war between Boba Fett, Fennec, and the Pikes. But let's be real here. The thing that we're most excited about going into this week's episode was the heavy-handed hinting that Djarin was going to return in some shape or form to help out Boba and Fennec. That really was the overarching discussion this week with a lot of people, even people who weren't big fans of Book of Boba Fett. They're going to tune into this with the hopes that Djarin shows up, so no pressure or anything. Thankfully, they did deliver and then some in this episode. Surprisingly, no Boba Fett this episode in this show about Boba Fett. It's all about Djarin. He does appear. Whether they want to get technical about this episode or not, this pretty much was the first episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian, which is not a complaint, by the way. I love The Mandalorian. A lot of great setup here, seeing how Mando has been after Grogu went to be with Luke Skywalker, and he's back to being a bounty hunter again, which I think is awesome. Those kind of adventures were some of my favorite in The Mandalorian, and we're back to that here once again. This is probably one of the coolest battles for a plethora of reasons as he tries to collect the bounty. One of the main ones is the fact he's using the Darksaber to fight all these people. What a fight! He was going to town with that Darksaber too, stabbing it through people. He cuts one guy in half. That was the one that shocked me the most in the battle. But also, he hurts himself because he doesn't have any sort of training with the Darksaber. After this amazing opening to the episode, I was perfectly fine just following the Mandalorian on this adventure, but then we also throw in the Armorer, and Paz even shows up as well. We haven't seen Paz in a very long time. I think a lot of people probably forgot who he even was. It was interesting seeing them all interact once again after so long, but the part that hit me in the heartstrings was when Mando has the Armorer forge some armor for Grogu, and we talk about how much he misses him and wants to see him again, which is just heartbreaking, because like all of us, we miss Grogu too, and I cannot wait to see the character pop up once again. There's a little bit of tidbits there, teases of where we're planning to go with that story at the end of the episode. Thanks to the armor, we even get some flashbacks to Mandalore, which were really cool. Seeing the Night of 1,000 Tears in live action was just haunting. It's not something that's delved into a lot in the episode, but when Mando brings up Bo-Katan to the armor, it sounds like they have kind of a checkered past with one another. I hope that we get that explored in some shape or form in the future, because she didn't sound very happy. After Mando had that accident with the Darksaber, I like that him and the armor had some sort of training. I was not expecting that Paz was going to come in and try and challenge him to a duel. It was a great duel. It was a pretty brutal fight. I mean, we knew that the Mandalorian was going to win. I mean, he's the one that has the show. Why would Paz win this fight, you know? The tidbit that makes everything tricky, though, is the fact that the armorer says that Mando isn't a Mandalorian anymore because he did tell the truth that he took his helmet off in the past. And we set up some things that I think we're going to definitely explore in season 3 with him trying to redeem himself. It sounds like the task that he's given to try and redeem himself, though, is practically impossible at this point, but I think they'll find a way to make it work, or we'll just see more of Pedro Pascal's face in season 3. I mean, it's kind of a win-win either way. I laughed pretty hard when Din goes to the ship to try and leave, and he has to take out so many different weapons just to get on the ship off to Mos Eisley. Around this point in the episode, I kind of started to forget that this was an episode of the Book of Boba Fett and not an episode of The Mandalorian, because we're like 20-30 minutes in at this point. We have not seen an inkling of Boba Fett in the show, and we don't for the whole episode. Even when we land in Mos Eisley, no Boba Fett the entire episode. Go figure, we always go back to Tatooine. It seems like that is the place to be in all of Star Wars media. It was great to see Amy Sedaris pop up in this role once again. I'm surprised she's not more involved with the Book of Boba Fett in general, because I know she was like a background character in one scene, but otherwise she's really not been talked to at all. We even get a replacement ship now for the Razor Crest. Like I said, we're setting up a lot of the Mandalorian season 3 in this episode, but I think the actual replacement for the Razor Crest might be a bigger upgrade because it's a Naboo starfighter. I mean, the nostalgia of that alone is pretty great, but the fighter itself, once they actually repair it, it's amazing. It's sleek, it's silver, so it matches with Mando's armor. It's very fast too. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like the track that they used to race this Naboo starfighter to just test out how fast it goes, it looked like it was the pod racing track from episode 1, so that was a fun little fan servicey kind of moment there for long-term Star Wars fans. It's even so fast he gets pulled over in space. Like, I mean, that just goes to show you how fast it is. You know, there's no repercussions for it though. He speeds away. But we do finally get some sort of semblance reminder that this is a Book of Boba Fett show and not a Mandalorian episode when Fennec Shand pops up and offers him the job to work for Boba Fett. But he has other plans in the cards. He's gonna go see Grogu first. I don't know if that necessarily means he's gonna eventually come back in this series because there's only a couple episodes left, or the next time that we see him is going to be in season 3 of The Mandalorian, because this pretty much felt like a first episode of The Mandalorian season 3 anyways. But either way, I was really happy. I was a little bit surprised at just how much Mando was in this episode. You know, it is the Book of Boba Fett after all. But I think it's a great episode either way. I mean, I'm a little biased, loving The Mandalorian so much. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What do you think of this episode of the Book of Boba Fett? Did you like the episode, not like the episode? Share any thoughts or theories you may have on where you think we're going to go in these next couple episodes. Do you think that Mando is going to come back? Share any thoughts or theories you may have for, I guess, Season 3 of The Mandalorian as well while we're here. But thank you guys so much for checking out the reviews. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel so you're updated with distractions, unboxings, and more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.